Broadway Unites for Migrant Families at Concert for America. Dolores Conchita Figueroa del Rivero was born in Washington, D.C. in 1933, to Puerto Rican parents. Later, she became known simply as Chita Rivera, a three-time Tony winner who originated the roles of Anita in West Side Story, Velma in Chicago, and Rose in Bye Bye Birdie. Dolores Conchita Figueroa del Rivero is angry. And she's doing something about it. Things are off-kilter, the 85-year-old star told Vanity Fair at the Great Hall in Cooper Union on Saturday, where she joined other Broadway celebrities for Concert for America benefiting organizations helping families at the border, and introduced herself by her full name. "They're all wrong, and we have to show our support for what is the right thing to do. You cannot separate children. You cannot take away people's rights, so we've got to all get together and try to do something about it." Planned only 10 days in advance, as the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy that separated families at the border dominated national headlines, SiriusXM's Seth Rudetsky and his husband, James Wesley, pulled together the Impromptu Concert, a regular show they've been doing in association with their organization Your Kids, Our Kids, since January 2017. They texted every celebrity they knew who would help. Within minutes, they had a yes from Menzel, Faye, and McDonald. Everyone else soon followed. They flew in their friend, the Greatest Showman's Keela Settle, and gave the show a 5 p.m. start time so Menzel could make it to her off-Broadway show, Skin Tight. "The purpose of these concerts is really to entertain people but really to inform them," Rudetsky said. As soon as Trump passed the executive order saying families won't be separated anymore, people were like, "Oh, I guess the concert is cancelled." No. It's so horrific out there, we just want people to understand what's happening. There's so much misinformation out there. Since the executive order was signed June 20th, the Department of Homeland Security has announced that they are returning their former catch-and-release policy, in which families are kept together while awaiting dates in immigration court. Reports suggest, however, that the vast majority of separated migrant families have not been reunited. During the 2-plus-hour show on Saturday evening, Rudetsky and Wesley introduced representatives from 4 organizations: Al Otro Lado, Texas Civil Rights Project, ACLU Foundation of Texas, and the Florence Project. "In World War II, we turned away boats of Jewish refugees, many of whom later died in the concentration camps," said Al Otro Lado director Nicole Ramos, who brought her client, Lesbia, a Guatemalan mother who had her children taken away from her for 8 months after trying to seek asylum in the U.S., said. "What we're doing now is no different. We are turning away Central Americans and people from southern Mexico, and they're going home, and they're dying." In between these sobering reality checks from activists and advocates, the celebrities performed relevant songs from the Broadway canon. Rivera sang her famous West Side Story song America, and later, with her daughter, Lisa Mordenti, The Apple Doesn't Fall. McDonald came in with her rafter-shaking version of Climb Every Mountain from The Sound of Music, and later revived her duet from Ragtime, Wheels of a Dream, with Brian Stokes Mitchell. Olga Meredith sang her In the Heights solo patient show Why Faye for the first time in 10 years. Faye, who was introduced by Andrea Martin, joked that she had asked to sing Climb Every Mountain but was denied the chance. She brought with her 2 local middle schoolers who read their original poems about their families' experiences with immigration. "I'm honored to be with you today to help raise funds for these vital organizations working to protect families and advocate for their rights at our southern border," Faye said, setting up another punchline. "Your generosity will assist detained families so they can reunite, be treated with dignity, and complete their journeys from Mexico to Canada. There's no way America was their first choice destination. Right now this place is a little bit of a grill fire. I believe it will be delicious here again one day. This batch of burgers is burnt." Martin, who on stage told a story of a generous man who helped her during a recent fear-inducing airport trip, told VF that she thinks of her Armenian grandparents who sought refuge in the U.S. after what is now known as the Armenian Genocide of 1915. I had really been racking my brain trying to figure out how I could help the situation that we're in other than going down to Texas or California at the border and volunteering, which I didn't think was feasible, she said. I wanted to know how I could best lend my support, so when Seth and James put this together, I jumped at it. The Facebook Live link on the event website currently has close to 50,000 views. The show will re-air on Concert for America's online platforms on July 8 at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Use of this site constitutes acceptance of our user agreement and privacy policy and cookie statement.